Hi, me again. We're going to be looking at averages in this video. Uh, it, it's a topic that will crop up. Some topics in functional skills may or may not be there in your exam. Other topics will definitely be there, and this is one of those. It will definitely be in your exam. So, averages. Mean, mode, median, and range. Although range, strictly speaking, isn't an average, it's always included as an average. So you'll start with a list of numbers, a table of anything from 5 to 12, maybe even 18 or 20 numbers. The bigger numbers, 18 to 20, that'll probably be level 2. Level 1, that may give you half a dozen or 10. So, bear with me a second and we'll get this sorted out. And they won't always be in order. And that's something to look out for, which you'll understand in a bit. So, we've got our table of numbers, our list of numbers, and we're looking for the mean first. So the mean add up all the numbers, then divide the total by how many numbers there are. So in this case, 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 7 is 12, plus 10 is 22, plus 3 is 25. So they add up to 25. Total is 25. Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers altogether. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So the mean for this list of numbers is 5. The problem most people have with averages is not working out each individual one, because working out each individual one is quite easy. That's easy. The problem is remembering which is which. So a bit of revision before your exam, just to remind yourself which is which. The working out is easy. So, mean, add them all up, divide by how many there are, job done. Okay. I better not use the whole rubber, or big list of numbers will disappear as well. Get rid of that. Bear with me a second. Okay, so now we're looking for the mode. And the mode is the number which occurs most often. So it's the number that occurs in the list more often than any other, and that's important, more often than any other. There's one number, if there is one. As you can see in our list, every number only shows up once. So in this case, there's no mode. If I added a 7, now there's a mode, because we've got 2 7s and 1 of everything else. But if I add another 10, now there's no mode again, because we've got 2 7s and 2 10s. So no one number occurs more than any other. It has to be one number that occurs more than any other. If I take the 10 off, now we're back to a mode of 7, because we got 1 1, 1 4, 1 10, 1 3, but we've got 2 7s. So that would be the mode in this list. Now, the important bit, we'll go back to our original list so that we know where we are. The important bit about this is, especially at level 2, there may not be a mode in your list of numbers. There might not be one number that occurs more than any other. Don't try to make one up. I've seen people put 0 because there isn't one, so they've put 0. There's no 0 in the list. It can't possibly be 0. Others just look at the list for a while and then pick a number at random and hope they're right. If there isn't one, there isn't one, and that's what you put in your answer box. There is no mode in this list of numbers because no one number occurs more than any other, or words to that effect. Don't just put no mode. They want to know why there isn't a mode, or why you think there isn't a mode. So no mode because no number occurs more often than any other. And that'll do. Okay, so that's the mode. So in our list, there isn't one. If you hear the odd pamp of a horn, don't worry about it. We're right on the main road outside. If it gets too loud, might have to stop for a minute. So we'll get rid of that. If I use the rubber instead of the pen, there we are. Okay, so now we're looking for median. And this can be a bit tricky as well if you're not very careful. And I'll explain that as we go along. The first thing we have to do to find the median is to rewrite the list in order from smallest to largest. It won't be written like that for your exam. They want to see you rewrite the list from smallest to largest. So we'll do that first. So we've got a 1, no we haven't. Yeah, we've got a 1, a 3, a 4, 7 and 10. Now, to the sharp-eyed, 4 is the middle number, which is what median is. It's the middle number of your list. And that's great, easy. We've got 5 numbers, the middle one is there, and we can say that the middle number, or the median, in our list is 4. But we've only got a definite middle number because we've got an odd number of numbers. We've got 5 numbers in our list. Let me just get rid of that circle. There we are. If I added another number, say 12, just for the sake of argument, now we haven't got a definite middle. because the middle is there between two numbers. So what we need to do, 4 plus 7 is 11. Divide that by 2, and you get 5.5. So the middle number in this list, when I've added the 12, is 5.5. And if you look at this, that it shows it's going to be right. So, with an odd number of numbers, you've got a definite middle number. With an even number of numbers, we've got 6 here, the middle comes between two numbers. So you add up the numbers either side of that line. You can put that line in and you're working out if it helps. Add up the numbers either side of the line and then divide by 2. And you'll have 5, in this case 5.5. In your exam, that could be 4, that could be 160. It could be that big a gap. So in which case you would add the 4 plus the 160, which will give you 164. Divide that by 2, I think your pen's running out, and that'll give you 82. So you see the difference. You go from 4 to 82 to 160. So be careful when you're doing this. Write out your numbers, smallest first, and remember you have to end up with the same amount of numbers as you started with. In other words, if there was another 1 there, you would have to put the 2 1s in your ordered list. Don't just put 1 because you think, well, I've put 1, that's enough. You have to have the same amount of numbers, so include all the numbers. I've seen too many people miss them out because they've put it once, so they don't think they've got to put it again. Put them all in order, smallest first. Odd number of numbers, you've got a definite middle. Even number of numbers, put a line between the 2 in the middle. Add the 2 up, divide by 2, always divide by 2, and you'll get your median. Okay? That's probably the trickiest one of the lot, remembering, have I got an even number of numbers or have I got an odd number of numbers? Once you get used to it, bit of revision, look over this video a couple of times and it'll soon sink in. Okay, so that brings us to the last one. Bear with me a second again. If I press the complete erase, it'll take out the list. I don't really want to do that properly. I probably couldn't remember what I've got. So. Okay, so the final one, the range. That's probably the easiest of the lot. Highest minus the lowest. So in our case, we got the highest is 10 and the lowest is 1, 10 minus 1, so the range is 9. So that's averages in a nutshell. It doesn't get any harder than that. You'll get more numbers maybe, but the way you work them out is exactly the same. But look at the answers. We've got a mean of 5, we've got a median of 4, and we've got a range of 9. All from the same list. And this is why politicians love averages. Very often you'll hear, let's say, a Labour candidate come out and say, according to our figures, the average unemployment numbers in the country have dropped by this much. Conservative guy will come out arguing, saying, actually, he's telling lies. According to our figures, the average has gone up. They're both telling the truth, but they're using a different average. They're using a different average so that that average works for them and what they want to say. That's why they love averages. Next time you're watching the news, you listen how many times an MP or a Prime Minister will say average. They love it. That's averages. That's all there is to it. It's not difficult. As I say, if it hasn't quite gone in yet, just look at the video again. It's only 10 or 12 minutes long, and you'll be equipped to cope with anything in your exam, because it doesn't get any harder than that. Thank you.